Today we are heading towards what was called the enamel factory in Beijing, and it was kind of neat because we got a chance to go down through some of the back roads in Beijing. And as we went into this side door and into the factory, you see an awful lot of workers doing very intricate piecemeal work. You see some of the workers who have their hands inside a device that is polishing and washing down these urns that they're making, and as you see the artwork here, it's absolutely incredible, the craftsmanship that goes into this. Bob had mentioned in one of the other programs what it meant to him to be made in China, and I too got an appreciation for the kinds of things that they were doing. And I will say this, most of us had our checkbooks out, and we did an awful lot of Christmas shopping at the enamel shop. So it was absolutely wonderful, and it took care of a lot of gifts for people back home.
A good friend of mine asked me to go to a Chinese silk factory and buy her some silk, and as she is a seamstress, and I said, sure, gee. So we went into this particular factory, and you see the long battens of silk, and you look at the different thread counts per inch and how much it's so much more expensive, etc., as the thread count goes up. But you look at all the hundreds of styles and colors of silk. It really gave you an appreciation for the art of it, how it is made, and the tremendous amount of colors that were there, and the people very friendly, very kind in helping you. And when I brought all this back and she looked at what I had bought her and what she asked me to buy her, she was absolutely in awe. And then to get it at the price that we got was so ridiculously inexpensive.
Okay, opera. When I think of opera, I think of all those wonderful Italians, oversized Italians, and I'm Italian, and those big, powerful voices, and boy, this was not what I expected. In Chinese opera, I'll stop talking in a minute, and you can listen to them sing. They're all falsetto voices. All the leads are in falsetto voices. Thank goodness that on the side there was an electronic board that translated what they were saying. And it's the typical boy meets girl, girl meets boy, they want to get together, there's confusion, but in China there always seems to be a battle with the spirit world, and this particular girl had a dream, and she had to do battle with the evil spirits that were trying to keep her and her loved one away from one another. And at the beginning, when you listen to these voices, I looked at Bob and we kind of went, this is kind of strange. I mean, this is not for us kind of thing. But after a while, once they got through it, and the acrobatics and the gymnastics and the martial arts started, our interest got piqued up because, as Bob had mentioned, they do some wonderful things, and it ended on a very positive note. So this was our first view of Chinese opera, and it wasn't what we expected, but by the end of the evening it was very enjoyable.
All right, we finally made it. As you saw, we came across the lake, and if you're wondering why did we take the bus across over and why did we have to take a boat, the idea is pretty simple, that the air above us, between the sun coming into the observatory, has its stillness here with over the cold water, and it tends to keep the haze from looking up at the sun. At the Huaru Solar Observatory, and we were just downstairs, and we happened to notice that we saw the sun in real time. They're doing it right now. They're tracking the sun as long as they can from two observatories, one here and another one in another part of the world. And as I come over here to the observatory, I can hear the motor, the clock drive, twisting. So as the Earth spins, the telescope itself is keeping track of the sun. And we're about, I guess, 6, 8 stories up above the lake. And if you come on over here, I'll show you the dome that tracks out onto the telescope. You see the tracks on the floor. And when they put the telescope to bed at night, they just roll the dome straight out and cover up the scope. And right over my shoulder is the Great Wall of China, right off in that distance over there, which we're going to be heading to at some time this afternoon after we get done with lunch. But they do, as I said, this is where they do most of their observatory of the sun, right in here. And they keep track of things like sunspots and solar flares and the magnetic field that surrounds the sun. And what's unique about them is they do it day after day after day, hour after hour after hour with their other observatory. And so they build up these surveys that is a body of knowledge that a lot of observatories don't get, because they take a picture, several pictures at a time, and yet this particular observatory is going all the time.
Has it surprised you observing the sun as long and as often as you do? Have there been surprises? By barge, by boat?
Yeah, by board. Because we made a very large wood sea that made some instrument. Yeah. Then we moved the telescope to here in the 90s.
From the oldest continuous civilization on Earth comes one of the most famous marvels in all of the world, the Great Wall of China. The wall extends over 4,000 miles from the Gobi Desert in the west to the Yellow Sea to the east. It was built some 4,000 years ago, in part to protect China from the northern nomads who were a threat to those in the south and the east. One of the biggest misconceptions about the wall is that it is visible from space. The astronauts chuckle over this because they've never seen it. There are many theories about the wall as to why it was built. Somewhere lies the truth. In all of the Chinese artwork, poetry, and records that have survived time, there is no mention of the wall. The incredible journey of Marco Polo makes no mention of the wall. If the great leader Kublai Khan, who welcomed Polo to his court, and together they shared the knowledge of East versus West, why didn't Kublai Khan ever mention the wall? The Chinese culture interweaves mysticism, astrology, and the beliefs of good and evil in their everyday life. Everything has a natural place in order in the universe. They call this the Qi. The Chinese do all they can not to upset the Qi and strive to keep out evil spirits. Now the Chinese feared the evil that existed in the northern wasteland called Mongolia. They believed that evil spirits traveled in straight lines. So one strong theory has the Chinese building a twisting, winding wall to keep evil spirits out. The other theory has it built as a military defense from invading armies. The wall itself was first built as a watchtower. When completed, they numbered around 25,000. They stood around 40 feet tall. The first walls were built of earth and mixed with rice into a hardening mass that had to resist the penetration of an arrow. If that failed, they had to start over again. In other places, the dirt piles were combined with stone and then faced or covered with brick. So how good was the wall? During the reign of China's first emperor, Shi Huangdi, who was the leader of the Qin people, they were one of 7 warring tribes. Shi Huangdi defeated all of his enemies, but united everyone into a nation of Qin, that which we call today China. During his reign, Emperor Qin had 2 obsessions: immortality and absolute earthly authority. Concerned for evil spirits in Mongolia, Qin ordered the wall to be constructed. It seems a prophecy was read to him that nomads from the north would end the Qin dynasty, so he sent an army to defeat them. The wall would separate his empire from the evil barbarians. First came the watchtowers, and then the walls were constructed. The wall is an average 20 feet wide at the base and 12 feet wide at the top. Workers were drafted or forced into labor to build the wall.
Some call the Great Wall the largest cemetery in the world, as hundreds of thousands of workers died in its construction. The greatest conqueror in Chinese history, Genghis Khan, claimed the wall was only as good as the soldiers that guarded it. Guards and officers were bribed or simply overrun. The watchtowers were used as platforms to send smoke signals to identifying troop movement and strength. But as a foolproof defensive barrier, it was mostly a failure, and in time the wall fell apart. The Great Wall never stopped Genghis Khan. In time, Chinese philosophy embraced the belief that only weak dynasties build walls, for it symbolized failure. This may be one reason why no mention of the Great Wall is found in any ancient Chinese art or literature. Then during the Ming Dynasty, the emperors poured great resources into the wall to protect China, even knowing that it never worked in the past. As the years passed and Westerners came and marveled at the wall's existence and construction, the Chinese became prideful. During the Cultural Revolution under Mao Zedong, much of the wall was disassembled, stones were quarried for other purposes or crushed for cement. The wall was now a sign of oppression. But after the Cultural Revolution ended, China needed symbols of national pride, and the wall was restored once again. The best sections to visit are the ones near Beijing.
They all want to sell you something. Yep. $1. $1 for water.
Name.
Oh, right now.
And the Chinese name, Liu. Only this way, okay? Sir, only this way, one way, okay? I remember you, okay? No treat me, okay?
My legs are screaming at me. Not here, boy. I'm out of shape. But he's carrying the camera in 15 pounds. Come on. You know what? Give me your knapsack. This was your idea to climb, right? Yeah, this was your idea. We could have taken the tram up and walked down, but no, you had to say we wanted to hike up and then hike down. That's not good physics. Listen to me, I'm 4 years old. I'm an old man. But I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. Hello. 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 School's out. Hello. Easy going down. Hello. There aren't any fat Chinese people. There are no fat Chinese people. On the way back. On the way back. On the way back. Let's go, Brockton. Well, we made it. Look at this, will you? You know we're going to remember this the rest of our lives. You know, it's one of those defining moments in your life when you think about something all your life as a kid and you're finally here. It's hard to imagine we're here, but we'll remember this like we remembered Kennedy. Man landing on the moon. Today is October 22nd, 1997. 2:33 in the afternoon, and my kids at home in Brockton and Hanson are 2:30 in the morning. This is unbelievable. But you got to get up because we still have a way to climb. Now, we just get off the bus. We hiked up probably 20, 30 minutes to hike our way up. And we still got a way to go. So you get off your duff and let's go. Small cannon, Wall of China. Great Wall. Moved here from the what? The Renaissance?
The renovated.
Oh, the renovated. Yeah. Great Wall being some 5,000 kilometers. As you take a look at, from right to left on the towers, if you take a look at all the peaks, as I looked, I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 tower peaks. And when the tower was being used as a military defense, there were lookouts up there who would light fires and let them know that the enemy was approaching. And if Bob Bellevaux, my cameraman, would pan back to the right, you can see all the near towers, and they extend off to the right, even more so. Cow dung. It was pretty, but effective. Pretty smoky.
And then they played the towers and they couldn't stand the film.
This is not easy.
It's nice to walk up like the stairs where every step is a different height.
Yes. Watch your step right in front of you. Yep, up one more, then down. Oh boy, look at this one.
Oh my God.
All right, whose legs are screaming?
And a girl. That's it. Take a go. There we go. That's it.
She don't give a tinker's damn about these stairs. Oh man, look at this. Well, yeah, can you hear my legs screaming? Now there's the parking lot. That's where we just came from. Maybe it might be better to have taken the tram up, huh? Whew. But you want to do it. You want to do it to say you did it. Breathing heavy. Hey.
What's it look like, Gretchen? What do you think?
Change shoulders here.
Very narrow. For cannonballs. And it's got to be put in just recently. Look, all that looks like pretty modern mortar to me.
What they say, more the merrier.
Good view here. Jump get this one.
Well, what you're looking at is what we just walked coming up on the Great Wall here in China. This is just extraordinary.
How'd you get up there so fast?
I'm the cameraman, I'm supposed to.
This stuff whining, huh? Oh, here come our $1 fronts. Ready to be pounded here.
Ah, jeez.
That child's free.
Oh, jeez, yeah. No, take it off.
the last haul, because I think we're going to take the car down. We proved it by coming up. Everyone's doing it backwards. Everyone took the tram up and walking down. We did it the wrong way. But you see how steep this is. This is big time, but the view, absolutely spectacular. I don't have anything to say.